My name is Alastair Gibson. I used to be an F1 engineer, and now I'm a sculptor. This idea in my mind has been around for a while. Ever since I was in Formula One and the drivers we were running got a podium, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to design one of the trophies? It was sort of a little bit of a dream. I felt really honored that I'd been given a chance to do this. It was a huge challenge, but I was really up for the task. My design, I wanted to make it very interesting and more intricate than the other designs I've seen for previous Grand Prix. In the very early days of motor racing, when they won a race, they gave them a bouquet of flowers. And this is sort of in the 20s and early 30s. There wasn't a wreath, there wasn't a trophy, they just gave them flowers. So I thought, if I sort of base the trophy a little bit on nature, it might sort of blend off a bit, and that's what I did. My parents had a holiday cottage in South Africa on the coast. The fishermen used to catch quite large sharks and bring them up on the beach. So I used to cut the jaws out, mount them on a piece of wood, and take them back to Johannesburg and sell them to my mates at school. When I was in Formula One, I looked at all the beautiful parts that there used to be in the stores, made from titanium and all these really exotic metals. After the season, they were all going to the skip. So I had an idea of hand carving a shark like I used to, making a mold, and then using carbon fiber and using the Grand Prix parts to embellish this fish and show the link between the natural world and engineering. Everyone in the studio has helped me. We have 5 people in my carbon art studio. The flaps of the Grand Prix car that are sort of like the leaves that come around the flower. The turbocharger impeller is the center of the flower. So once I had sort of an idea like that in my mind, I thought the best thing would be to do a 3D printed version of that. And this really helped me massively to actually, first of all, check out the size, see the proportions, and calculate the weight. My sculptures are mostly objects or animals you find in the natural world. And I like to look at how we're going to look after these animals, or how we're going to look after our planet in the future. And you've got to start somewhere. Using aluminium, which is a very sustainable material and a very reusable material, people appreciate good engineering. And if we can do good engineering plus look after the planet, then it's got to be a way forward. To see the first prototype in the flesh was very exciting. It looked more robust than I imagined it to be. And one of the design criteria on it was to have it completely transparent through any different angle. So whatever angle you hold the trophy at, you could see through it, which was quite difficult to do at the time, but it has really worked out well. The trophy mock-up was printed in a nylon material where there's no waste at all. The support structure usually is cut away and wasted, where the system that we used, the material acts as support structure. And when you break it out of the cake, all the leftover materials will be recycled again and used in the next 3D print. Working with the digital manufacturing center is great. Silverstone and this area, it's the greatest place to be. There are so many talented businesses around here who have so many good ideas and such good machinery, and it's just an amazing place to work. DMC are a great bunch of people, really helped me with a lot of my previous projects that I thought were probably impossible to do. and they've always come with their intelligent way of looking at engineering, being able to help me out. Using parts that have been on a Grand Prix car are really cool. Initially, when I worked for Benetton and I walked into the stores at the end of the season, they were about to chuck all these beautiful bits of titanium and Inconel and Mara Asian 3000 steels and all of that away, and I held them in my hands. Mostly I wanted to try and show my dad. He was a race car mechanic in the 60s, and when I took a couple of those bits home to South Africa to show him, he was absolutely amazed how far the whole Formula One engineering had gone. When I was doing the trophy, I thought I want to try and put as many parts that I've actually been on a Grand Prix car and raced on a Grand Prix car into the trophy. And I think it's a good feeling for reusing stuff and sustainability, and hopefully the drivers and the teams that get these trophies will actually look at it and get the whole bigger picture of the Silverstone heritage with the names on it, the front wing flaps, the disc bells, and the turbocharger impeller, and say, oh wow, you know, this has really had some thought being put into it. You know, it's very important to look at the heritage, and if you look at the drivers who have won it, and if you look at the teams who have won it, and you look at the second and third place people, there's no significant driver left out. I decided to put the names of the drivers first, second and third on the first, second and third trophies, and the constructors on the constructors trophy. The challenges created by Formula One, the biggest thing is they want you to be free to do what you want to do. However, the winners and the constructors can't be taller than 650 millimeters. The second and third have to be 100 millimeters lower, and it can't weigh more than 5 kilograms. It'll be exciting to look up on the podium and see my creations. I think the most interesting thing will be to see, once the drivers have come back to the garage or something like that, will they stand there and look at the names on the flaps? Will they look inside the trophy to see if what's holding the flaps together, and they recognize the disc bell and they recognize the turbocharger impeller? The most interesting will be if they get it, you know, if they get what I've tried to create. This is the first one, which is the Constructors Trophy. So I'll pull this off and then realistically give me your honest feedback. So, yeah. First of all, the reason why we're sort of unveiling it here is just to say a big thank you to DMC for doing the concept 3D printed version. The 3D printed prototype was the thing that allowed this one to be made so quickly and so accurately the first off. If you look inside here, you can see the brake disc bell over there. In the first place finishing one, the turbo impeller and the little spider in the middle is made from gold. Second place, silver. Third place, bronze. One of the most important things as well, it costs a lot of money to make, but it is basically different to any other trophy that I've seen. And I'm sure everyone watching the Grand Prix on Sunday the 7th is really going to see something worth waiting for. It'll be a big moment for me seeing the trophies being handed out on the podium. Quite emotional. I always thought maybe in my Grand Prix career that I'd actually be standing in the constructor's position receiving a trophy as the chief mechanic, but that never happened. So it's a bit of a full circle for me to be standing looking up, and there's 4 of my creations being handed to the best drivers of the world and the best constructor of the world. I'd love a British driver to win, and that's always something special at their home Grand Prix. And to have the British drivers on the podium and trophies given to a British driver would be really, really special.